That's
Hi, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Pirate and Treasure Museum. Well, that's not really where we're at. We're in my home. We're at the studio. And as always, we start our show with a good rousing shot of rum. And it's the last of my favorite. I poured the rest of it there. Spiced orange from City Gates Distilleries. So, as we always say, cheers to all. Cheers to the crew. Navigator Longwood, Mandy Joe, and Gunner Hellfire. Let's go ahead and have a quick toast. Say aye.
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 Oh, that's good. Now, how do you find us, ladies and gentlemen? Why, YouTube, of course. We want all of you come into our YouTube channel and following along with us. You can go there and hit that like button. Use the QR code to find us even easier. We're trying to make it as easy as possible for everybody to be a part of our show. Hit the like button, subscribe. Our subscriptions, our members under the subscription of YouTube is gaining ground fast and furious. Every week the numbers change. I'm hoping that the numbers have changed greatly this time from last week. I'm sure they have. But go to our YouTube channel, Captain's Quarters Podcast. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. I even did the little doggone bell thing on my own just to see what would happen. And it rings a little bell for you, lets you know you're there. So, be a part of our show, be a part of our cast, be a part of our crew. We appreciate it. Aye. And of course, what do we always start off with besides that? Let's see here. 8 Bells, sponsored by the Rikers Reenactment Community. How many do we have tonight, Mr. Davey?
We have 4.
4. All right, very good. Well, let's see what we have. I must put my glasses on. Robert Hunter Caldwell, an American singer, songwriter, and musician. He released several albums spanning R&B, soul, jazz, and adult contemporary. He is known for his soulful and versatile vocals. What You Won't Do for Love. That's his signature song, ladies and gentlemen, in 1978. He wrote many songs for other artists, including Billboard Hot 100 top #1 single, The Next Time I Fall, for Amy, I can't see it, it's gone black
Amy
at the bottom.
Grant.
What's that?
Amy Grant.
Amy Grant.
And Peter Cetera.
Aye. And let's see, Lance Solomon Reddick. Wait a minute. He died?
Yes, sir.
Oh, man. I
He's
loved
only
his
60.
character in all of the John Wick movies. Now he's gone. Wow, how sad. He was a great actor. I really loved him. Lance Solomon Reddick, March 17th, 2023. He was only 60 years old. Wow, I'm older than he is. Shh. That might be dangerous to think about. Oh well. Wow, what a loss for that one. Wow, wow, wow. Who else do we have? Clarence Eugene Fuzzy Haskins, singer. He performed in the 1950s and 60s doo-wop group The Parliaments and was a founding member of the groundbreaking, influential 1970s funk band Parliament and Funkadelic, also known as Parliament Funkadelic. I remember him. I used to dance to his disco music. Don't tell anybody. And Gloria Metzner, an American actress, dancer, and magician. Dee is noted for being the first magician to have performed in Las Vegas, as well as starring in a film during the golden age of Hollywood. Wow, I was not aware of her. I will have to do some more looking on that one. She specialized in the... What's that?
Lived to be 100.
How about that? At the age of 11, she was one of the youngest members of the Pacific Coast Association of Magicians. She starred in such films as King of the Congo, Mexicana, and Plan 9 from Outer Space. 100 years old. Wow. Some of these you surprised me with, Mr. Longwood. Very good. So, ladies and gentlemen, as we always do, We honor these 4 that have passed from our ways on to the next. Oh, wait, before you do that,
Okay.
David, don't hit the bell yet. Is Jim out there yet? I don't see Jim on there yet. Jim lost his dog Rosie after many, many, many years. He lost her today. And I saw a post on Facebook. So I always like, there he is right there. Jim, I saw the post about Rosie. I'm very, very sorry. We add her to our 8 bells tonight. Rosie, the wonder dog. How's that? Mr. Davey, give us our 8 bells. Cheers to everyone and to anyone that has a heart loss for the loss of these 4 fine people and 1 fine furry pet. Jim, I know how it is. I lost my Harry 6 years ago and it was heartbreaking. The only thing that's held the hole in my heart is that I now have Max, and he does well, making me feel very good. But I dread that time because there are children and we're not supposed to outlive our children. But there you go. Jim, very sorry. So let's go on with a few other things. How about Mini Mayhem's Joke of the Week, presented to you by Shiver Me Pictures. What did the ocean say to the pirate? Oh, I know this one, but we always hold on and wait till the end. So, what did the ocean say to the pirate? We'll find out at the very end when we do the reveal. Ladies and gentlemen, we're actually working on the joke of the day from Mini Mayhem to be more than just a picture. We're trying to come up with a great voice for Mini Mayhem so he can tell you the joke himself. We'll find out in a couple of weeks. We're telling you, we're making all kinds of changes to our show. We've learned a whole lot. We'll give thanks to Mandy for some of that we've learned, but it's also lit a fire under our arses so that we can do other things and come up with more ideas. We have come up with some great ideas, as you can see from last week's show and this week's show, and I guess maybe the week before. We have actual sponsors for each of the sections so that we talk about them and say something about them. For example, Quote of the Week. That's Davey's little chore there, and it's sponsored by Spyglass Travel. They're a great tour guide company here in St. Augustine, and we always want to make sure that if you need a good tour guide, you should go see our friends there, Kevin Rose and his wife. And guess what? They do a great tour. They have been on the top of the list for the entire country of tour guides, and we want you to go and see them for your travel and tourist needs. But the quote is this: "We are all born ignorant, but one must work hard to remain stupid." Sometimes when you put up one of those quotes, pictures of certain people pop in my head. I saw the eyebrow raise there, Mr. Henley. Don't worry, you are not one of the ones I was thinking of.
Not to worry. I don't have any names in mind at all.
What's that, mate?
I don't have any names in mind at all.
No, Gunfighter has become a very integral part of some of the things we've done. We showed you a video of a Halloween thing we did 2 years ago, and he spur of the moment improv. He's got the ability. I'm just trying to work with him. And then he did a great video, 2 weeks ago now?
Just about,
a great short. If you'll be watching, ladies and gentlemen, we're working on all kinds of little shorts, little 60-second or less shorts to show you bits and pieces of what we do, what we want to do, and things around us. So be watching. We're actually trying to organize all of that. Question of the week is next, but before we show the question of the week, Mr. Hellfire, Mr. Longwood has a video we would like to share with everybody about this month's historic month. And there it is. There it is.
To honor women's
there it is. All right.
Contributions to American history, like those of Elizabeth Blackwell, the first woman to officially become a doctor in the United States in 1849. Sojourner Truth, Susan B. Anthony, and Elizabeth Cady Stanton, all leaders in the women's suffrage movement. And Harriet Tubman, who led hundreds of enslaved people to freedom. But what's the history behind Women's History Month? It all began in 1978 with only a week-long celebration. It was organized by the Sonoma County Commission on Women. The week of March 8th was selected to correspond with International Women's Day, which had been celebrated around the world on March 8th since 1911. The movement began to gain momentum, and the following year, other communities and school districts initiated their own celebrations of Women's History Week. Then in 1980, the National Women's History Project lobbied for national recognition, and they were heard, because in February of that year, President Jimmy Carter issued the first proclamation, which declared the week of March 8th as National Women's History Week. 6 years later, the same organization petitioned for an expansion on the event, and in March of 1987, Congress passed Public Law 100-9, proclaiming March as Women's History Month. Now every March and all month long celebrate countless extraordinary women who've earned their place at the table. And the rest, as they say, is history.
So, that coincides right with our question of the week, ladies and gentlemen. Our question of the week is this. Since 1995, March has been Women's History Month. Name 3 women in American history that you believe had a great influence on our lives today. I can tell you a couple, but we'll wait and see what comes into the answers. Harriet Tubman, Rosa Parks, just to name a couple. I see something that Jim just popped up. I just was trying to read it. So, when we do a recall of the question of the week down the road here later on in the show, let's see what you came up with some of the women you believe were influential in our lives today. But for now, let's talk about Crew Adventures. Crew Adventures. This weekend, coming up, we will be doing the St. Augustine Lions Club Seafood Festival. It is their 42nd year, I believe, 42 years. And the St. Augustine Swashbucklers have been a proud part of them for at least 10 of those 42 years. But look for Pirates Cove at Spanish Landing, right in the center of the field. We'll be having games, pirate games in fact, fun and entertainment. Do you have the entertainment lined up there, Mr. Longwood? We have some great entertainment lined up for that spot for you to come out and see what we have. I personally will be doing 3 magic shows each day, both Saturday and Sunday. We have Paper and Strings coming up to be a part. They're coming on over here from Tampa, and they will be playing their music. Adam and Christy, Paper and Strings. We love having them here. They are also part of the St. Augustine Swashbucklers. Blue Lotus World Dance will be there. They'll be doing 2 shows on Saturday and 1 on Sunday. That'll be a lot of fun. And we're going to be talking about something else with them in just a few minutes. Also, my good friend Andrew Ratliff, he'll be coming in and doing something that is my pirates all really love. Escapes by Andrew the Absurd. He will be doing his escape routine both Saturday at 2 and Sunday at 1:30. But then he's also going to do something else. He's going to have all the kids gather around, and we're going to teach children how to juggle. That'll be a lot of fun. And then at the end of the day, both days, 5:30 on Saturday and 5 o'clock on Sunday, Cooper and Woodrow, stories and music of the pirate world. And they are quite good at their music and their stories. So ladies and gentlemen, there it is. And the entire Pirates Cove at the Spanish Landing, presented by the St. Augustine Swashbucklers, is sponsored by Captain's Quarters Podcast and a W. Mayhem production work. So come out between the hours of 11 and 5 on Sunday, 11 and 6:30, 11 and 7 on Saturday. Come on out and hang out. See what we got for you. Come join us. We have 3 really great raffle baskets we've been putting together. Oh, somebody's trying to call when they know they shouldn't. We have 3 really great raffle baskets up for the grabs. A raffle basket for ladies, a raffle basket for men, and a raffle basket for children. So come on out and get involved, and all the raffle money goes to the St. Augustine Swashbucklers Charity, which, by the way, has over $2,500 in it, already towards the Christmas holidays that we do our big drive for. So come on out, ladies and gentlemen. On that note, I do want to talk about one of our sister crews, the Seawolf Privateers down in Flagler. They have an event coming up on May 6th from 5 to 9 at the Palm Coast Community Center. I do not know how their ticket sales have gone. I tried to contact them earlier today, but they have been very busy and they did not get back with me. But I'm hoping their ticket sales will be good. If not, we are planning on helping them because we are going to do a show with them as guests prior to that night, May 6th. So let's see what happens. All right. On that note, we don't have anything else to talk about with Crew Adventures, but I would like to tell everybody this. If you're part of a crew and you want us to talk about your event, contact us. If you have an event coming up or just want to brag about your crew and the good they do, well, let's go ahead and talk about it. Ladies and gentlemen, the St. Augustine Swashbucklers took care of the beer booth, one of the major beer booths at the Celtic Festival, and in tips, in 2 days, earned $2,700 plus. And they'll be sharing that with the Swashbucklers, the Ancient City Sirens, the Seawolf Privateers, and the crew of the 829. All 4 crews pitched in and helped, and the way we do this every year is all the tip money goes into a bucket, and every crew gets 1 share per shift that they work. So everyone gets, by pirate standards, 1 share per shift. And it works out really well. So everybody's getting a little bit of the money to do with as they will for whatever it is they want their charities to be part of. So join us for that. Next year especially, we want to break the record on the beer booth. On that note, I don't think we have anything else to talk about with our crews. What do you say, Mr. Longwood? Are we good?
Yeah, we're good.
I and Mr. Henley. Did I forget anything?
Nope, you're all good, Kevin.
Good. And there's Mandy Jo sitting out there in Utah, and she's been busy because they've been shoveling snow still.
For the most part, it's kind of melted down. It should make for a good weekend at the
Pirates don't like snow.
No, my ships don't move very well in the snow, that's for sure.
No, they sure don't.
But the Pirate Festival that's in Las Vegas,
is it going to be nice weather this weekend?
It's supposed to be, but I saw pictures of his pirate ship, and I'm like, now I really just want to take mine down there for fun, because mine's like 3 times the size of his.
There it is, bragging about size. Yeah. Well, how far? Now, you said you're going to be in St. George, Utah?
Yeah, I leave to St. George on Thursday. My daughter dances Friday and Saturday, and then it looks like the Pirate Festival is Saturday and Sunday. So.
St. George, Utah is only what, an hour and a half, 2 hours, if I remember?
Yeah, it's a hop, skip, and a jump, basically. I talked to some of the other dance moms, and we're talking about sneaking over there.
Oh, that'll be fun. When is the dance done on Saturday?
I think Inara's done at 5 or 6.
Well, you may end up having to wait and just go on Sunday. But if you go over there, then you have to meet some of the pirates and know Captain Mayhem, Mo.
Yeah, I've been talking to him a little bit.
Good. I did not have the chance to get a hold of him this week because I wanted him to be on the show tonight and talk about the festival. But maybe next week we'll just have him on the show to tell us all about it. So we'll see. All right. On that note, have fun at that and take some pictures, and maybe you should do a short or 2.
Yeah, short.
I can sneak down there. I definitely will. If my daughter goes with me, you'll have a few from her.
And you will be wearing pirate gear, right?
Yeah, it's going to load in the car because I'm not flying, so I can take as much stuff as I want because we're taking my car. There you go. So.
Is Bo going with you?
Yeah.
All right, good. Well, if you go on Sunday, do some video shorts, and we'll save them and use them for the show Monday night. Okay? Very good, very good. On that note, do we have any other video highlights, Davey? Have you been playing around with Jib Jab or anything else lately?
No, but you did want to talk about shorts using Masons. I have his all queued up.
Hi, you want to show Masons again?
Sure.
Yeah.
Ah, Avast crew, Gunner Henley here. Did you know today is the birthday of none other than Anne Bonny? It's said Anne Bonny was born in 1697 in Cork, Ireland. Fun fact though, did you know Anne Bonny was only actively a pirate from 1718 to 1720? When she was captured in 1720, of course, and sentenced to be hanged. But she pleaded her belly, claimed she was with child, and they temporarily allowed her to live until the child was born. Happy birthday, lass. And stay tuned, crew, there's more to come. And don't forget to tune in every Monday night to the Captain's Quarters podcast for more history. Huzzah.
I really like that. You did a wonderful job there, Hellfire. You really did. It was wonderful. And there's only one thing I would suggest, and either we figure out a microphone system or we get you to talk just a little bit louder.
Hi. Yeah, it was a little quiet. I was working with what I have.
So we'll see what happens. All right, very good. So we got to come up with some more ideas then. Whatever you come up with, we'll go ahead and do them. And I like the book thing. So now I was watching while we were playing that, and I was watching you, and you were mouthing the words. So did you memorize it?
Well, a little secret is that the script was actually written in the book, but it was hidden to look like it was more of like a little history book or something, so that you couldn't tell it was a script.
Hey, I did the same thing when I did the murder mystery with the Flagler privateers, the Seawolf privateers, because I was the character, the actor in the last scene. I wasn't in the first three scenes. I was in the last scene, and the last scene had 4 different endings. I wasn't confident enough to memorize all the endings separately, so I used parchment paper to put everything on as if they were my notes because I was the investigator. It worked out well. So they're props. So keep using that book, and let's come up with something else we can do. Maybe, let's see, between now and then, now and the end of the year, I'll come up with a couple of other ideas.
Alrighty.
Let's see what we can do. I liked it. So, Mr. Longwood, I see next on our list it's actually the week in nautical history, correct?
Yes, since we don't have a guest this week.
Yep, no guest this week. It'd probably be a little bit shorter show, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a very tough week with the Celtic Festival last weekend and the Seafood Festival coming up this weekend. We have been overly busy trying to keep up with everything, and we did not get a guest. And quite frankly, I'm tired. I do want to talk about one other thing, though, and I'll put it in here, and then we'll make mention of it again when we talk about some of the other guests we got coming on the show. I will be going to South Carolina on April 28th and 29th. Our good friend Morrow, he's having his birthday party, and he has pirates from all over come. Last year he had a big to-do, and so the quartermaster of the Swashbucklers, Mr. Leon Pugh, he will be going with me. We will be setting up a period-correct tent in the vast expanses of his backyard and enjoying his part of the country. We're looking forward to it, and we will be going up there on Friday and coming and returning on Sunday. It should be a hoot of a time, and we are going to have Captain Morrow on our show either the week prior or 2 weeks prior to his event, so we can talk about it and have some good laughs. So that's one of the things I wanted to pop out there. This Week in Nautical History, ladies and gentlemen, is presented to you by one of our major sponsors, and that would be the St. Augustine Pirate and Treasure Museum. So, Mr. Davey, play it away.
All right.
Very good, and as always, some very interesting bits and pieces and tidbits of history that make things very interesting. As Davey gets ready to hit this week in history, we now have a new segment called Mail Call. I only have 2 pieces of mail this week. One of them was from a child from one of my tours in the Pirate Museum, and I thought it was pretty appropriate to read this one, because there are some parts in my tour that I do actually say a few things about women. And this one was from, well, let's see, Travis, Newton Elementary School. Thank you so much for giving us pirate knowledge, teaching us to respect women, the whole tour, that's important, and the story in the room. He's referring to the Blackbeard story, ladies and gentlemen. That always seems to be a real favorite of all the children, the Blackbeard story. I think it's the favorite of everybody. As I like to say, though, it's the second favorite activity of everybody that comes to the museum. The second. The first is always going on tour with Captain William Mayhem. But that was a very good letter. It's short, sweet, a little bit of artwork on it. I like that. I'm partial to red anyway, and I think he knew that. But I have another one I want to brag about. Now, this is a brag on my part. Sometimes you just have to say something. As many of you know, over the last couple of weeks, I've won 2 awards. I won the Rose Award, which is awards given out by the hotel and tourist industry in this part of Florida to outstanding hotel people, tour guides, and the like. And they had, I don't know how many categories, and I was nominated by Cindy Stavely at the Pirate Museum, and then she told me about it, and we went, and Kara went with me, and we sat there at the dinner table, and I looked at all the categories, and I'm going, I don't see anything in here that fits me. But lo and behold, ladies and gentlemen, I won one. I won one of the awards, and it sits above me right here. You may notice the new addition to the wall. Those are the 3 awards I've won. The other one was for Outstanding Character with the tour guide company here in St. Augustine. We may have them on the show here soon, so I'll leave their name out for now until we bring them on. But I'm bragging now about my boss, my big boss, not Cindy Stavely, but Pat Croce, the owner of the museum. He is the epitome of what a really good boss should be, can be, and must be. I still get a text message every year from him on my phone saying happy birthday. I get a message from him once in a while because he's seen something I've done. And just last week, I got a card from him. His writing is awesome. There it is. But it was a direct card, very simple, very easy, and that's Pat. But he says, Captain Mayhem, congratulations. You were always a winner in my book. Now I'm glad the entire community is aware of your peaceful, good piratical, in parentheses, nature. Signed, Pat Croce. It's one of my favorites. When I first started working for him, about 6 or 7 months in, I got another card from him about the same, thanking me for being a part of the family. These kind of things mean something to some people, ladies and gentlemen. They mean something to me. Sometimes it's a little bit more valuable than money. It means that you're doing a good job and you're being recognized for the good work that you do. So here in public, I'd like to say thank you very much to my big boss and fellow pirate, Pat Croce. And of course, his son Michael, and his son-in-law, Jeff. They come to St. Augustine on a regular basis to check on us and make sure we're all still alive and doing a good job for them so that their bank accounts are nice and comfortable too. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what it's all about. A good boss that hires the people he knows will do the job for him, and then he stays out of the way. That's a good boss. And I thank Pat Croce for this letter, this card. It meant a lot to me to open it up. I was very, very proud to have this. Thank you again. And yes, sometimes bragging is okay. For now, though, Mr. Davey, do you have a week in history, which is actually being brought to us by Dick's Wings, ladies and gentlemen. It's our favorite place to go for a good hamburger during the week, great hamburger specials during the week on lunchtime, and then, of course, all the different varieties of wings and fingers that you can get. Great beer on tap, and they all know When I walk in, they pour me a shot of Diplomatico. That's my rum to go to there. So, what do we got for Dick's Wings sponsoring This Week in History? Aye, very good. There was one there that caught my eye, though. Do you have a way to go back and pull the picture out and put it up on its own, Mr. Longwood?
No. Which one was it?
It was the one where the Marines went in and were protecting the citizens. The flag looked very similar to a skull and crossbones. Did you notice that?
Yes, I did. Looked like the Jolly Roger.
Yeah, it looked just like a Jolly Roger. In fact, it looked similar to a Jolly Roger I see every day when I go to the museum. Very interesting. If you can't, that's okay, but we might have to figure a way to pull that out and use it for other conversations down the road. That one caught my eye quickly. Very good. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's do a last-minute check of the messages. I was so busy watching what Mr. Longwood had put together, I didn't even go in and look at the messages. So we're just going to go backwards and look at the messages that people have put to us and see what we have here. I'm going to have to figure out some things here. There it is. So let's see. Here's to another wonderful night. Also, ouch, leg day. Oh, did we hurt ourselves? Cheers from Adam Lemons. That is part of Paper and Strings. Hello from Ransom Mayhem over in the Panhandle. And I see Gina Marie has made it over. Very good. Aye. Nightingale in Florida. Hello, everybody. Well, hello back to you. Very good. Captain's Quarters Podcast. Let's see. Athena Rivers. Ahoy there. Where is Athena from? We're going to have to get us a big map and start putting push pins in the map to show where everybody is watching us from. And let's see. There's Jim. We knew Jim was on. We talked to him earlier. Give Gunner a helium machine. That would be a good one. What else? There's Danelle Everhart. She is from the crew of the 829, the Elks Lodge pirate crew. They helped us on the beer tent at the Celtic Festival. It was quite a fun time, and we look forward to having them helping us with other parts of the events. Let's see. Shipwreck with Captain Morrow. I knew I saw him in there. We'll be seeing him in person, but we are going to have him on board in a couple of weeks. We'll be showing that off. There's Leon. That is Mr. Pugh, the quartermaster of the crew of the St. Augustine Swashbucklers. Thank you for being aboard with us. What else do we have? Anything else? Let's see. So do we have any answers to the question of the day? Eleanor Franklin, there's a good one. Eleanor Franklin. I think Rosa Parks is on that list for sure. Eileen Wernos. All right, gonna have to have an explanation of that one. But while we're waiting for an explanation of that, Mandy, do you have 3 women that you think you would want to mention here? You are the female of our crew. Hey, she's talking, but I can't hear.
She muted her own mic.
I was trying to help prevent backfeed. No, I don't study a ton of U.S. history. I spend most of my time like with world history because there's so much controversial stuff with U.S. history. There was a female who was supposedly a writer that did the ride to collect all of the militia, and I cannot think of her name, but I have notes on her because I started researching her, and she's out from like the D.C. area, I think. So
we're getting a couple of messages from people about wearing headphones, and they're talking about our own crew. So probably what we might need to do is start figuring a way that if we're not saying anything within our crew, that we mute and just remember to unmute when it's time for you to say something. We'll see if that doesn't take care of the problem. I made sure the TV was turned all the way down, so that can't be it. So we'll keep up. Martha Washington, Elizabeth Seaton, and First Lady Mrs. Reagan. There's 3 good ones there. And I've met Mrs. Reagan. That was a thrill for me. That would be a good one too. All right. I like that. I like the suggestion that Mandy popped in there. 3 Marys of Scripture. There's a good one. The 3 Marys of Scripture. That's a good one. I like that one. Let's see what else. I'm down there to Athena Rivers again. Size does not matter. What matters is who fills it. All right, very good. Let's see. Henry T. Yamato. Very good. I think he's on board with us tonight. Agree with the above statement. Hope to see more of that Hellfire. You're getting fans there, Hellfire. You're getting fans. We might have to start charging for your loveliness. Aye, for Henley, a simple lapel mic is only about $10 or so on Amazon, and the cord is long enough to plug into whatever you're doing. Yeah, I think we'll go with that. That'll help also. Very good. Mark Axton has said, did I just hear a telephone? I don't know. Good to see you, Mayhem, and ahoy, Captain Morrow. Very good, yes. Shipwreck with Morrow. Looking forward to seeing you all there. And ahoy, Mark. So, Morrow, if we get there in time and get everything set up for Friday night, you're going to have to tell us what might be a good place to go down and into town somewhere and tip a couple of good ones. Maybe there's a good pub somewhere that you like to frequent. Let's talk about it. Let's see. Gina Marie, congratulations to the captain. Thank you very much, Gina Marie. Oh, yes, speaking of Gina Marie, we were going to talk about May 13th. I'll just do it right now. May 13th, ladies and gentlemen, is World Belly Dance Day. And Gina, for 10 years, has always done something. We're looking at trying to do something together. What we're looking at trying to do, and it's looking pretty strong, is that she will be doing a meet and greet with some workshop classes with all the girls, so people can meet all the girls of Blue Lotus and Ancient City Sirens. And that'll be on the afternoon of May 13th. Later in the afternoon, I will be doing a guided private tour of the Pirate Museum, about 4:15 or 5:15. And then later on in the evening, we're working on a social, just a band, social time, and a lot of fun in the Colonial Quarter at the ship. And we may have already booked a very noted named band here in St. Augustine, and they're noted for their, what kind of music is it that they play? Reggae, which would be a lot of fun for all of us pirates. It would be open to everybody. There'll be no charge to come in, and we'll see what happens. So be watching for May 13th. It's 7 or 8 weeks away. We will be working on that, and maybe we can get everybody to come on out. Let's see. Athena Rivers is in Florida. Very good. I see Miss Kara Creamer is on. Sky Jockey. Hello, crew. There's a new name. I haven't seen that one. Aye, the first, Jim thinks I should have recognized the first convicted female serial murderer. Would that be Lizzie Borden? Or is there somebody else I'm not thinking of? Why is she echoing? Who's echoing? Is that you, Mandy, that was echoing? Maybe?
Yeah, when I was talking.
Okay, no worries. Aye. It's from the speakers of another person. We'll figure it out. Hey, once in a while we have to learn new things. Things change. Let's see. And Captain Morrow says, absolutely. I'm sure that's probably about my request for a pub in the area. So it looks like we got a good crew of great answers. I love some of the answers we got. I like it when people are paying attention. It's a good thing. Of course, now that we've done all of that, new on the horizon there, Mr.
Wait a minute, Captain. I got 3.
What do you got?
Jane Austen,
Oh, that's a good one.
Nightingale, and Amelia Earhart.
Oh, yes. I had thought about Amelia Earhart as one of mine, too. Amelia Earhart is a great story, and she was the second person, first female, but second person to fly around the world. Very interesting story on her part. And then she's lost. Sometimes people think they know she's still around, but we'll see. On that note, do you have anything else? Mr. Henley, do you have 3 women you want to mention?
Well, you already mentioned one of them I was thinking of was Amelia Earhart. Goodness, but if I don't think long and hard on it, I really can't think of much. Yeah, but Amelia Earhart's one that stood out to me. I've always loved aviation, so.
That would be a very good one. And, another that would be good would be Joan of Arc, but she's not of this country. We're mostly trying to stick with women of this country. But there you have it. Let's see. Any other messages that just popped up?
Sybil Ludington is the 16-year-old female that rode twice as far as Paul Revere.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that would be a good one, too. See, there's a lot of good women in the world. Get all the way down here. Let's see. Oh, Monster. Oh. The Daytona Hooker. That was the movie Monster. I don't know if that's the serial killer that you're talking about. All right. I understand now. All right. Very good. Now I know. All right. See there? I learned something tonight about all the wasps that helped. Yep. And we should also recognize Krista McCullough, the school teacher astronaut who died on the Columbia. Absolutely we should. Very good. Mason likes Little Debbie too. Aye, that's a good one. All right, we've given all our answers. We've come upon what we need to talk about next, which is new on the horizon. So, ladies and gentlemen, next week, our good friend up in Quebec, Mark Forget, he will be with us. We will be talking about the international pirate community, which we are now a part of, and he wants to do some stuff with us, so we're going to have him as a guest. April 3rd right now is open. April 10th, Sheriff Hardwick of St. Johns County would like to be on our show, at my request, of course, and so I'll be having the sheriff come into my home. On April 17th, we're looking at having Adam Morrow on so we can talk about his pirate event, which will be on April 29th. On April 24th, we'll have the Seawolf Privateers so that we can talk about their Monopoly charity event that we've already been talking about the last couple of weeks. And we're looking to maybe have Miss Gina Newman of Blue Lotus to come talk to us about World Belly Dance Day and be a guest right here in the show. As you can see, May 8th, 15th, and 22nd and 27th are all open. June 5th, History with William McRae. That is not me, that is my son. He will be in St. Augustine that week, and he has agreed to come on the show, and we will be talking about D-Day and World War II. June 12th and June 19th are still open. If you'd like to be a part of the show, you must join us. You must send us a message and let us know that you'd like to be a part of the show. Captain's Quarters Podcast 21 at gmail.com. It's a great way to contact us, just to write us a message and tell us what you think of us. Only the good stuff, please. Aye. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, since we know what's coming up, it is time for the end of the joke of the week. The ocean said to the pirates nothing. It just waved. The only one that's laughing at that one right now is Longwood. Yeah.
Madcap's laughing too. She just
I see her. I see her, but she's muted, so we can't hear her. Ladies and gentlemen, we can't do all of this without some really special help from a lot of people. Not just the four of us sitting here in front of you, but we do have to say thank you to a lot of other people. So, Mr. Longwood, show us off. Very good. I see a couple of changes I need to add to it for next week. We need to add a couple of sponsors to the sponsor page. And I thought we had talked about not having the numbers on that last panel, but we'll work on that one too, because we do give the numbers here in just a minute. We're going to show you the platforms you can watch us or listen to us on. These are the ways you can catch us. You can watch us, ladies and gentlemen, on our YouTube channel, Captain's Quarters Podcast, our Spotify channel, and Instagram. You can watch us there too. If you want to just listen to us, Stitcher, iHeart, Castbox, Apple Podcast, and Amazon Music. Ladies and gentlemen, we're working on some new ideas with Spotify that we will be making some special 1-minute videos in groups about specific subjects like St. Augustine or things in St. Augustine. And those will be things that we will be putting out there that if you would like to watch them, well, you'll have to pay for it. That way we can start making a little bit of extra money. It won't be very much. We're looking at not trying to kill the bank right away. We just want people to watch us, but we want to be able to pay for everything. So be watching for that. We'll probably break that out in the summertime when we have more time to work on other projects as the school tours and the museum go down and we finish out this month of all these festivals and go into April and relax. On that note, what else do we have, mister? Oh, look, here we go. You've got 17,312 views in the last 28 days. That's pretty good, ladies and gentlemen. You can see all that we have there. This is a good way for us to keep track. We have 578 subscribers now. We've gone way up. Views in the last 48 hours of 27. Ladies and gentlemen, last week after we closed the show, within 30 minutes, we had over 500 views on the show last week. It was amazing. It was impressive, and it was flattering that people are catching our show. So spread the word around, ladies and gentlemen. We want everybody to watch the show and be a part of it. We're coming up with some new ideas. We're going to have some merchandise soon. We hope to have some t-shirts and, I don't know, shot glasses. Who knows what we'll come up with, but we're hoping to do some other things to make this a well-rounded, fun time for everybody. Email us at captainsquarterspodcast21@gmail.com. That is the best way to get in touch with us. So you've shown our numbers, Mr. Davey. We've shown everybody our thanks, and we are just about 5 minutes shy of a full hour. And I've always said, if it's just me, it's not always going to be exciting, but we still have a great time. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think we'll go ahead and say thank you very much. Tune in next week when we have our good friend Marc Freguet all the way up from Quebec, Canada. And we'll have to have a translator, I'm sure. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, it's always a pleasure to have you here, and we have a way of signing off to make sure that you know that we appreciate you. Mr. Davey, take her away.
Part of the podcast.
Part of the crew.
Always.
We can't do it without you. We thank you very much for tuning in. We look forward to seeing you next week. Huzzah!